Good bounce back win for the Gamecocks, so I was happy to see that. A lot of guys contributed. Happy to see that. A lot of decisions down the stretch that we needed to make in order to keep a little buffer there. Happy to see that. So a lot of good things in this game. Thought defensively we did a really good job. They have a good team. They know their stuff. They run their stuff. They fly off of these screens. I mean, you can't rest for a nanosecond on the defensive side when you're guarding those guys. And we got caught a couple times, but for the most part, I thought we were really determined to execute a defensive game plan, and that was really what made me happy. You can win a lot of different ways. Sometimes you can kind of just manufacture a win when you didn't play great, but I thought what was really encouraging to me was the execution of a game plan. I was really happy about that. That speaks volumes of what the team can ultimately become, especially on that side of the ball.
Questions? David in the front, right?
Lamont, you guys had 10 3-pointers against this team last year, 11 today. Were you a little bit surprised that they kind of kept pushing you out to the zone and in effect daring you to shoot those?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if you look at the numbers on us for the season, they probably did that. I think they're more inclined to play that way defensively anyway. They're a protect the paint team, minimize the stuff that happens around the basket. That's why they double team in the post. So I think philosophically that's probably they lean more towards that anyway. But then if you looked at our numbers, it probably felt like we certainly got to make them make some. And that's just the way that they were playing. You know, I think the quality of I think we shot 32 threes. High quality for most of them. We moved the ball around. We got it to some guys who made extra passes. So I was happy. You have to shoot them. You have to make some in order for it to pay off. But I think you have to shoot them if they're going to play their defense that way. It's hard to just keep running to a brick wall if you can't make any threes.
In the middle.
To follow up, we're talking about the defensive game plan. What did you do defensively to make it tough shooting night?
Yeah, one is we chased through screens with an unbelievable level of determination. I mean, I can't understate that, the amount of determination it takes with as many screens as they set on one possession, let alone to do it through a 40-minute game. And you're getting banged and you're getting bumped and the guy's got his knee out there and his knee goes into your quad and it doesn't feel good and you got to do it again. And then at the end of all that, you know, they still bang one in here and there. But I think it was our commitment and determination in chasing the screens really made some of the shots harder. Just a little less breathing room for those guys. But they're good shooters and they make hard shots, and they did. They made a couple of them that were really tough shots too.
John?
Jordan went out there and made a few shots and seemed to have his minutes go up a little bit. What did you notice that out of him?
Yeah, growth. I would say that between he and Cam both. Somebody asked me that earlier. Is just I think the amount of growth between those two players in these two games. That's the value of these two games and these early season games. And you know, being young guys, they have more room for growth, but that only matters if they actually grow. And I think both those guys did. But Jordan showed some had really good minutes in the last game. It's always going to seem like he happened to make the 1-3 or 1 for 2 yesterday. So it's going to seem like, or 2 days ago, it's going to seem like, well, he's playing because he made a 3. In reality, it's almost like it's the other way around. You're active, you're doing all these things. The ball happens to find you, and the basketball gods tend to favor you in those situations. But I just think he's been way more active as a defender, way more active as a defender. And so that's led to more minutes. And then while he's been out there, he's taken advantage of those things. But I have confidence that when he stepped into the game, I ran a play for him to get a 3. And he made it. It didn't go exactly the way that it was supposed to, but the ball ended up in his hands with an open 3-point opportunity, and he drained it.
David in the front.
Well, on that same thing, Zach Davis seemed to have one of his most complete games tonight. Can you see it all coming together for him?
Yeah, Zach, his ability to get to the rim, his potential ability to get to the rim at such a high level. You know, I think as he continues to commit more to doing that, and then he's going to realize that his length and size really helps him in those scenarios. I think that's the next real step for him to grow as a player. But coincidentally, it doesn't always work this way. He had unbelievable energy at practice yesterday, defensively mainly, but he had unbelievable energy at practice yesterday. So sometimes it just works out that way, that you practice well and then you play well. But he's another guy who's been growing. He's got a different role, and so he's been growing consistently as well.
The gentleman in the black shirt on the left.
1 or 2 possession game down the stretch for a lot of the way. What did you like about your defense? How the guys kind of locked in that period, and it seemed like your veteran guys kind of stepped up for you.
Yeah, I you know, that's the real ultimate value of these games, is that you get all those situations that are going to come time and time again, and you get some of them early against a really good team. And so, you know, even if there was a world in which you could win by 20 or have the game play out the way that it played out tonight, you really would like it to play out this way. We had defensive decisions that we practiced and execution of certain things that we practiced that they had to do it in real time. We had an extra foul to give at the end. What did that look like? We were in a defense that we only play when it's a nip and tuck game and you're up by a couple possessions. That played itself out that way. So you get real live game situations. We had pressure free throws that we had to make. Mainly made them. A couple guys didn't. Right? You can practice that all you want, but you're never going to be able to simulate those things effectively. But on the defensive end, I thought we were really, really good, especially late in the game. And I think it took away confidence from them that they could get a comfortable shot off. I felt like they needed to pull the trigger a little quicker or fly off that screen a little harder, which ultimately alters the quality of the shot. And but it's a really good game for us to just show what makes us tick and how to win games, and that you can stand up and get some defensive possessions when you really need them.
John on the right.
We all played a couple of few games last year that were challenging in non-conference, but this year it's definitely
Amped up,
a big step
yeah.
up. Do you like it better this one?
You know, every team is different, and every team needs different things. And you know, some years you may need to develop more guys. Some years, so you may play a schedule that allows you potentially to be able to do that. Some years, you know, you may have an experienced team. You may have a lot of guys back. They're experienced in your system, and you feel like you can challenge yourself a little bit more. Other times, I think every coach is going to try to piece the schedule the way they can. But yeah, certainly at this point, to have played 2 top 25 teams away from home, and then your grand prize on the end of that is to play Virginia Tech away from home, and then go on the road to Boston College. There probably aren't a lot of high major teams that have a stretch like that this early in the season so far. So it's challenging, but that's why, you know, we talked after the last game. I think you take the record, and there's something bigger that we're trying to. Who are we as a team? What's it going to look like? What does our ceiling look like? So you're so focused on those things that, you know, you got to understand you're playing good teams. You're going to lose some of those games early on, and so as long as you grow from them, you know, I think it's okay. But that was a great win, great effort by our guys to be able to win against a team like that, who probably was disappointed that they weren't playing in a championship game as well. So they were playing with 110% effort. So I was really happy.
Anything else for Coach, guys? Appreciate it.
Happy Thanksgiving.